Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the stream. Happy to have you all here. It is MLD Monday, of course, on a Monday. Anyway, I hope today has been a wonderful day for you. It's been a half-decent day for me. Right off the bat, I have something to completely and utterly sell out. Recently, I had a issue with, and this is kind of an admission. It's a dirty admission, but my family car. My family car is a Toyota Prius. Yes, and I know what you're thinking. He would drive a Toyota Prius, that man's man. The manliest car he could possibly be driving. But no. It's not exactly my favorite car. But the hybrid battery went dead on it, and I found a company that actually will replace hybrid batteries for more than half the cost, or for better than half the cost of most dealerships, which is pretty cool. And then they offer a 5-year warranty on it. So look up Green Bean Battery. If for some reason you're a Prius owner, they are a great company to look into if in case your battery ever goes bad. So, anyway, hashtag sellout. Again, I'm not exactly I'm not proud to say I own a Prius, but it has been a very good family car. We have over 235,000 miles on that thing, and if I ever go to a LAN, it'll be because that thing gets such good gas mileage. Anyway, I hope today has found you extremely well, Ninja, in the chat. Well, that's your first problem. Exactly. My normal work car is a 91 Chevy S10 that we're just keeping on the road because we can, if you know what I mean. So it's like, I completely enjoy working on cars myself, but when it comes to the high voltage of a hybrid battery, I'd rather let someone else figure that out for me. Anyway, as I said, I hope today finds you well. I know it's first day off of a great playoff weekend in Champ League. A lot of things shaking up. Today is going to be an extremely rare day, though, because I do not actually have a hot take whatsoever for you.
Wow.
I actually do not have a gimmicky segment for you whatsoever.
Wow.
I have really just nothing to say to you other than let's move towards getting into the interview. Yes, it's a man's vehicle. It's a man's vehicle, Ninja. 91 Chevrolet S10 stick shift. Ooh, yes. Very nice vehicle. I do enjoy it thoroughly. Anyway. I'm gonna have to get the... bear with me as I am working on getting the lobby up for the first interview. So if anyone is interested in getting into our lobby... actually, I take it back. I have a hot take of the day. I have an extremely hot take I would like to share with you today. That hot take is the fact that no one has made a show match. Really? I'd leave you guys the opportunity to do something spectacular. And what happens? Absolutely nothing. You dropped the ball. It's up to you to try to schedule some of these show matches to make amazing things happen here on stream, and absolutely nothing is going down today. So instead, we're going to have our normal open lobby for everyone in the chat. It'll be fun. Anyway. Hashtag unprepared kendo. Hashtag Cracer, shut up. We did not lose to you in a best of 7 series. Those were just extra games. We tagged on to the best of 5, which Mateo and I won while doing an interview. Thank you. Anyway. Let's get straight into the action. Very excited about tonight. I mean, one, I do have one of my favorite people in the community as a special guest. And, of course, I am referring to Nit Jr. But I also have one of my best friends in the community as well, in Ninja Rider. So, two extremely amazing interviews that I'm looking forward to bringing you today. So let's see. We're going to make this the usual information. I'll go ahead and type it in chat. As it is making. But yeah, it's going to be our usual open lobby. Definitely looking forward to what fun we can have tonight. Anyway. Okay, there it is. I'm sitting there wondering, what is going on? But yeah, feel free to invite your friends. Get them in open lobby tonight. MLD password is Ken. Who knows? We might have Inanimate J come in. I just noticed he started playing Rocket League. It would be fun to get Jay in a lobby. That'd be amazing. So we already got Ninja Rider, Tunloink, and Thumbs jumping in. So this will be pretty fun. Okay. So I'm going to work on bringing the first guest of the day in. Okay. Our first guest of the day is the captain of the Champions League Pirates. Just came off of a 4-2 series victory over the Knights in what was an extremely close matchup. I am with Junior V376. Junior, how are you doing tonight, my friend?
Hey, Kendall, thanks for having me on. I'm doing pretty good, actually. Coming off of that win, I'm feeling pretty good. That was really, really close. But I am happy to say the Pirates are advancing, so that's good news.
Exactly. You made the Knights walk the plank.
We did. Yeah, next we face the Hurricane, so that's going to be a pretty tough storm there to take on.
I like the pun there, talking about the storm you're going to have to take on.
Yeah.
Just right off the bat, let's go ahead and talk about the Hurricanes. I mean, looking forward into that matchup, I know you have AutoCAD, and what they did with Cinderblock against the Dodgers was very impressive. A lot of people feel that Ace Pocket, along with AutoCAD, is the top pairing, the AA meeting, if you know what I mean, within the Storm. But what's your opinion on the Hurricanes?
Well, the Hurricanes put a clinic on the Dodgers. I was very impressed with how they did, because I felt those were some of the two strongest teams in the league there. So I felt like that was like Titans clashing. So they did really well there. I do feel that they can pretty much play any either Ace Pocket or Cinderblock with AutoCAD and have an equally strong team. So we're pretty much preparing for AutoCAD and whoever they decide to throw at us next week. But they are a tough one. We've been looking forward to this. I know they swept us during the regular season. So we have something to prove here coming back. So I'm really excited for that match.
Now, they swept you during the regular season, you mentioned. That was a 5-0 sweep. And I cannot remember off the top of my head, what was the matchup in that matchup?
That matchup was AutoCAD and Ace Pocket versus Cheyenne and ToonLink.
So
it was a sweep. They were close matches, but they ended up getting a 5-0 swept. So now we have some redemption to kind of come back to.
Yeah, 100%. Going into that match, is there anything in particular that you feel like you as a team need to do extremely well to beat the Hurricanes?
We have to come mentally strong. I know I mentioned this to you, but in the Knights game, the Knights did a very good job attacking us mentally, and it broke us down. So they were very successful in those attacks, and we got to make sure that does not happen. If our mental game is strong, I am very confident that we can come over and take this win on them. I do feel we're the stronger team, but I do know that we'll let the pitch do the talking. So pretty much we'll see that this week.
Absolutely. I love hearing about other people's opinions on teams, especially ones that they're facing within the MLD. Especially when you're going up against someone like AutoCAD, who I saw the stats in the four-mans a couple days ago, and apparently he put up 21 goals in four-mans last night. And the next closest person, I think, was only 9 goals total. So he put on an absolute clinic.
Yeah, he's an absolute beast, and his strength really shines when he has such a strong supporting cast like Cinderblock and Ace Pocket. So, and the problem is that if you go and focus everything you have on AutoCAD, then you're gonna have Ace Pocket going and destroying you. So it's a good balance that you got to do between either Ace Pocket or Cinderblock along with AutoCAD in that team. So they're a very tough team to beat this season. Yeah, so it's gonna be tough.
So I do want to talk about Tunloink. I finally figured out how to say his name right about 4 weeks into this season. I could not get it right for the life of me. But I do also want to thank Tunloink for his Twitch Prime subscription. #smooth transition. But Tunloink, can we talk about him for a little bit? The top overall striker in the regular season, and you were no slouch at all either, but I noticed that your stats, you were the 3rd highest assists in the league this season as well. Do those two go together like birds of a feather, as it were?
We do. So funny enough, I think our playstyles complement each other a lot. He's a very strong striker, and I'm more midfield support style, so it's carried me done pretty well for me in the MLD, and our playstyles have gone really, really well together. Though I'm mistaken, I thought I had who has more assists than me this season.
I would have to look really quick. Here, I'm gonna pull this up. We'll see if I can do this on the fly.
Because I know that Alex from the Ducks had more assists per game than me.
Oh, yeah, Alex did have more assists per game. And the one other one, actually, you were the assist leader. Brainiac had #1 assist per game because of the 5-game average. So you were the top assist man over as far as sheer amount, with 49 assists on the season. The next closest person actually was Mateo with 40. So that's actually an extremely impressive gap.
So I know going into the season, when it started off, we saw that Toon took a very I know you call him Tunloink, his actual name, and I mispronounce it all the time, so I'm gonna continue mispronouncing it. We just call him Toon for short. Makes it a lot easier in comms. But he was a very strong striker, so early on in the season, we were like, oh, we can actually do this. You can get #1 striker, I can try to get most assists, and towards the end of the season, it kind of played out that way. So we were very excited for those stats.
So wait a second, I've been saying it wrong this whole time again?
No, you're saying it right.
Okay.
Sorry. As a pirate, I still say it wrong only because it just makes it a bit easier for us.
Okay, that makes... Whew. I thought that I had gone an entire season calling someone the wrong name, and that would have been... That would have been extremely interesting. Of course, your brother also has a very interesting name. How do you say your brother's name?
So it's Cheyenne with a hard CH. His actual name is Cheyenne. So he just kind of took that up on as his gamer tag, and it's kind of stuck since then.
Yeah. So it kind of like
some people call him Chai for short, and that's perfectly fine too.
So literally chai, almost like the drink.
Yeah, and I believe somebody asked for a document saying how to pronounce your team's name, and that's exactly how he said it. Cheyenne, like chai as in a chai latte.
Yeah,
and
chai.
And one of the commenters actually said chai latte at one point when he scored a goal. I thought that was pretty funny, but that's a good way to remember it.
Chai latte. By the way, if anyone does want to get in, we just need one more to run 2s here in the lobby. So MLD Ken, by all means, if you want to get in, we can get things going. We can even run 3s. We can run Chaos 4s, by all means. Again, the hot take of the night being nobody signed up for a show match, and shame on you all. But anyway,
we do some Rumble Chaos.
Yeah, Rumble Chaos would be pretty fun. So last week, and of course, everyone in the chat, if you do have a question for Junior, feel free to ask it throughout the interview process. I do take notes. I'm watching the Twitch chat on a regular basis throughout the interview. So I'll do my best to ask the question. Feel free to ping it at me if you feel like I missed it, because, I mean, I don't mind seeing your question again, because I definitely don't want to miss too many questions. Cracer, your questions, there are some of them that are not worth answering, but I will ask your question in a moment. That is a very good question. Anyway. Last week I did have Bondo on, and I know you guys have a very amazing relationship with each other, a friendship that developed from your start, essentially, in Season 4. One of the things I did want to ask, and so wonderful about the MLD, is the fact that we're able to make these relationships among these teams. Has there been another person that's kind of grown a relationship like the one you have with Bondo since Season 4?
Oh yeah, absolutely. There's lots of players in the league. You know, me and Ninja from the Hawks, we got closer after last season. Aries as well. You know, he ended up joining us in the Bulls last season. So when I had a chance to draft him, playing so much with him, like last season, we just practicing together, talking all the time. I helped him get his computer. You know, we been more of a personal bond at this point. We play a lot of Rocket League relationship, but one of the best things about the minor league doubles is the relationships you build in and outside of Rocket League. So I definitely recommend anybody who can get into the league and is interested in some like-minded individuals. There's nothing better than MLD.
Yeah, that is excellent way to put it. And then, of course, I mean, just going into your relationship with Bondo a little bit more, this one's kind of an offbeat question, but when are we having a Florida LAN?
Oh, I would. If there's a Florida LAN, you definitely will see me there. I mean, unfortunately, with how life is now, I'm older. I'm working on buying a house now, so I can't travel outside of Florida for any of the LANs. But if there's a Florida LAN, I will be there. I travel to other tournaments, fighting game tournaments here within Florida. So if they did a LAN, I would be there as well. But as to when, if you guys are going to host one and you guys need helping hands, you can come in. I'll be more than happy to volunteer. So I guess the question is, when are you going to come over here and host one for us?
Ooh, that is a good question. When I get money. That's the easiest way to put it. When I can self-sustain myself as a personality, I guess. I don't know. No, that's a terrible way of putting it, but you know.
Yeah. But realistically, I know for LANs and big major tournaments, Florida's kind of hard because it's in the Panhandle, and it's so far to the East Coast, so very West Coast has trouble going there. So I know Midwest usually tends to be a bit easier since it's easier to travel to.
I mean,
it's what it is, but we have the Sunshine State here, so
it's a good vacation location from what I've heard.
No, definitely. I love living here. I can't imagine living anywhere else. But for anybody who doesn't, definitely feel free to visit. Hit me up on Discord. I'll show you around.
Yeah. So, Cracer did ask in the chat, how do you feel about the Aviators? Got any opinions, scouting report on them?
So I honestly was one of the ones who thought, you know, the Ducks would definitely be able to squeeze it out. I did feel on paper, you know, just MMR related, the Aviators were the tougher team. But I did feel the Ducks had this chemistry, but it seems like coming into the playoffs, the Aviators finally got that figured out, and now they may be the team to beat and left out of the 4 teams remaining here in the playoffs. So I wouldn't be surprised to see them in the championships, and if they are, they're probably not going to be the underdogs in that game. That's for sure.
Absolutely. Again, we're here with Junior, the captain of the Pirates, and talking a little bit about last night's matchup. You guys,
yeah, and as you saw in the Aviators last night's matchup, like Golden Shine and Killer Penguin have insane 1v1 skills, and they tend to lend very well to 2v2 with so much open space. So they are going to be a force to be reckoned with.
I do want to get into the game with the Knights just a little bit, because I noticed you had mentioned a little bit in the Discord answering some of the conversation that we were having earlier. I absolutely love that. But You guys started out that series with an 8-0 win. How confident were you guys feeling after game one?
Oh, we were feeling really really confident. If just look at the history of the regular season,
Mm-hmm.
me and Tunloink went ahead and 5-0 that same lineup, and then Aries and Tunloink were able to 4-1. I believe it was Mike and Hydra. So we were very confident going into there, and then game one kind of helped in that confidence. But God, did the Knights turn around? And like I mentioned to you before, like they went and they knew exactly how to attack us mentally. They threw us off our game. They made it very uncomfortable for us. Uh, and at times, I feel like if we didn't mentally come and recover the way we did, they would have easily gone and taken it 4, and we would have only had that first game. So it was a very hard fought battle, and was very impressed with them afterwards. At the time, I was quite upset with them because they were just making it way too tough for us. But it was an insane series, and I haven't felt that nervous in a series in a while.
Yeah.
And I've been to the playoffs both of my seasons before, so it's not like I haven't been there before yet. They're still able to mentally shake me.
Yeah. Very much so. Do you think the 8-0 gave you maybe a little bit of overconfidence?
I feel like we tend to have done that before, but that gave us probably overconfidence just for that next game. And then every game after that, well, we were ready for them, and yet they still managed to put us in very uncomfortable situations all the time. Their 50-50s were absolutely insane, and their positioning was kind of hard to beat after that game one.
Yeah. I think you kind of answered the question I was going to ask next, but what about their play style was so challenging to your play game and to the game plan for the Pirates?
They would make all sorts of reads. I think that's kind of what made their 50-50s so strong, is when they go for 50-50, they kind of had an idea where we were going with the ball, and they were right about 90% of the time. So it was kind of hard because we were like, well, if they're always knowing what we're going to do, then we need to change up what we're going to do. And you can see the games got pretty close, and there were some games there that we were trying so hard to play different that me and Nathan were just crossing each other's path and just playing really uncomfortable at times. But they were really, really good at those reads.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's see. Again, everybody else, I think Aries has a question in the chat. I don't know if it's a question directed at you, but if anyone does have a question for Junior, feel free to ask at any time. By all means, we're definitely taking and fielding questions for the captain of the Champion League Pirates. Aries does ask, I don't think it's of you, but he asks, why do I suck?
Well, I don't think I can answer that question because he's very hard on himself. He says that all the time, and I'm probably one of his biggest fans, and I'll tell him all the time that he's far from sucking. I think mine and his play style, again, play very well together. He's also a very good striker, and I don't believe me and him going back to last season, we haven't dropped a series. There's even one game where we were big underdogs where they thought we were going to get 5-0'd or at best 1-4'd, and we turned around and 4-1 the Jets. And it had a lot to do with how he played that day and his ability to mentally stay in the games when they matter.
Yeah, absolutely. Aries definitely one of the probably one of the better success stories within the MLD, because I know coming in, if I remember right, he was a mid to low gold, or he might have been a little lower.
Yeah, he was a mid silver on draft day, and I remember there was some team chemistry issues with the other player that we had drafted, which was Jaden at the time. So Bondo went ahead and made a switch. And Bondo was a great captain, always good at being able to identify talents and players who would just mesh well with us. And he brought him on board, and we had a pretty successful season last season too.
That's a amazing growth. But going forward, I know that I don't want you to... I'm not asking this to have you look too far ahead, of course. But going forward, do you still plan on continuing to play in the MLD? Or are you going to look for... I don't want to say better opportunities, but more professional opportunities?
So I've actually been recruited by the Tangang, I believe they're called.
Oh, no.
No, that was a joke. I just told Crazy I'd say that. But no, in reality...
Very well played. Very well played. You had me. but go ahead.
So actually, in my personal life, things have been getting quite busy, and this season I haven't been able to be as active as I wanted to, and I've had to make some personal sacrifices to be able to give my team the amount of commitment that they deserve. So I haven't made it a secret or anything, but I haven't announced it yet. But next season, I definitely won't be back to the MLD. I'm hoping that it's just a break while I get everything. I'm actually in the process of buying a home now,
Yeah.
and transitioning through jobs. So real life is getting quite busy, so I'm probably going to be taking a break from the MLD, though you will see me around. I'll still be in scrims, and I'll be able to help any players who ask for help, like I'm always trying to do. But
Absolutely.
as for being a player or captain in the league, I probably, well, I won't be next season, and I'm hoping that it's temporary, and maybe, who knows, maybe it'll be season 8 or season 9 return for Junior.
So, any idea who's going to take the reins, the helm of the pirates' ship?
I have no idea who's going to take it. I know that there's Drury was on the reserve. He was the captain of the Plat League. I don't know if he's gonna apply for it, though I know he's more than capable, seeing how he was captaining the Plat League until he got into the reserve. I'm not sure if Toon is gonna be able to. He might be in a rank out territory around now. So that would leave Cheyenne and Aries, and I don't know if any of them are wanting to go ahead and apply for that to carry the reins.
I like Wolf's question in chat, though. It kind of went along with it. Who's going to be the next captain, and why is it Aries? Thinking. So, very funny input there from Wolf.
Well, I do think Aries would be a great captain if he decided he wanted to be a captain. It might be the next natural selection. Though this is Chayan's second season as a pirate, so he is the pirate veteran of the team right now because he was here last season. With the captain of the Pirates, he was picked up later on in the season, so that might be another natural selection too if he decided he wanted to be a captain.
You might say he's had more time swabbing the poop deck.
Yeah, he has. He's been working his way up there.
Exactly. So, this is one of the burning questions, and of course, we're getting closer to the close. So, if anyone in the chat does have any questions, by all means, do ask them now, as we are talking to Junior, captain of the Pirates. The story behind your name, Junior V376. What is the V376, and why is it that you and Cheyenne both have V376?
I find that question funny because since I think day 2 that I joined the league, people were curious of that, and the standing joke as of now was that Junior V clones have been created, and I'm the 376 version, and they finally perfected it, so they stopped making more. So that was just a joke going on there, but the actual story behind it is rather boring and uninteresting, and it might show my age a bit. Back when the internet was closer to its infancy, and everybody said, well, don't use your real name on the internet because then people are going to find you and kidnap you. And I was a child, so I put, instead of putting my real name, I put Junior, which is what my family calls me because I have the same name as my dad.
Mm-hmm.
And I put my real last name. And that name was taken, so AO1's messenger suggested, what about Junior V376? And I said, okay.
So it was the old AOL automatic suggestions.
Yep. And then my brother and my cousin, my stepbrother, and they all decided, well, let's just go ahead and add V376 to the back and turn it into some form of looking clan tag. What? So that's how it actually came to be.
That's excellent. So it kind of just became the online family name.
Yeah, pretty much. My cousins added it, my brother added it, my stepbrother added it. So we won't be the only 376 you see out there. There'll probably be like another 3 more. They're just not into Rocket League.
Wow, that is awesome. Actually, I actually enjoy that story because I knew the joke version of the story, but now actually I'm not sure if you've actually told that story or not, the full story publicly. But that is a really cool story.
Yeah, I've said it on Discord a few times, but it's probably been like a party of like 3 or 4 tops. So not many people know that story. Well, I don't say it often because it's not very interesting. But when they ask, it's no secret. I'm more than happy to tell it.
Yeah. Well, you got to remember, there's all that bread flooding through the general chat on a regular basis. But don't. I don't know where it comes from. I don't know why it's there. It just doesn't make any sense. Anyway, let's see. Tunloink does ask, and I find it funny it's coming from Tunloink, so this will be a test of your self-confidence. Who do you think will be in the championship finals?
Well, the Orange Conference for sure is going to be the Pirates. That's fact. In the Blue Conference, though, it's a little bit tougher. If I was a betting man, I would have to bet on the team who was finally able to defeat the Ducks. It's hard to bet against them going into the conference final, so I would probably say the Aviators are going to come out of the Blue Conference. So I think people could be very excited to look forward to a Pirates versus Aviators finals for this season of the MLD.
Mm-hmm. Very true. I think I might end on this note right here unless somebody else would like to ask a question. So make sure you get in as fast as possible if you do have one of those burning, seething questions for Junior. As we're coming to a close of this interview, Wolf asks, and this is, I think you're the perfect person to ask this because of your experience both on high-level teams and then now as a captain. But with the offseason on the horizon, what advice would you have for new captains when trying people out? And also, what is the most important quality for a player to have?
Oh, that's a tough question. Because it's such a gray area, there's no black and white. But I'll go back to the season when I first started with Bondo. He and me played before the season started. We played a lot. We got on voice comms, and we realized off the back that we get along. The chemistry was there, and not in-game chemistry, more personality chemistry. In-game chemistry, I feel it can be built if you have a personal chemistry with the person, because if you don't like the people you're playing with, you're not going to have fun. You have to have fun when you're playing to play well. And when you're playing well, you're probably going to have fun. So find somebody that you can enjoy playing with. Definitely that. And be smart about it. I know some teams look for somebody who's value in salary, but more importantly, I think you need to find somebody who has similar goals as you. What are you coming into this season for? Do you want a team member who's going to put time and play with you week in and week out, or are they going to constantly be playing alone and only show up for the games? Some captains look for that because they want to play alone, and then they want to play for the MLD match with their teammates. So just kind of make sure that you know what you want to get out of the season and find players who want to get the same thing out of it, and you should have a good time.
Absolutely. Also, Cracer does want to know what you think of the Jets.
The Jets, I actually had the Jets taking it much closer to the Ducks, getting to the playoffs and being able to take it to the Ducks and possibly beating them. I do know that they're a very powerful team this season. I did not get a chance to play them outside of a few scrims, unlike last season where we were able to actually play them during the regular season. But I was very disappointed to see them not make it farther into the playoffs because I felt they were going to be pretty exciting to watch towards the end.
Absolutely. The Jets probably being the top team that did not make the playoffs. And again, yeah, definitely sad that they did not make it. Definitely. It speaks as a testament, though, how close the Blue Conference was. But, yeah.
Yeah, and the regular season game versus Ducks, that one surprised me. I thought they were going to do a bit more.
Okay. Well, I think that is the last question that we will have for the night of you. I do appreciate your time. And definitely do appreciate you coming in. Good luck, of course, going into the Orange Conference Championship. And best wishes, of course.
Thank you very much, and thank you for having me. I appreciate you being
here. You are very, very welcome, sir. And that was Junior, the captain of the Pirates. Definitely do appreciate his time. And, oh, wait. Trying to see if I missed a question here. Apparently, Aries. Oh, Aries would like to know if you're still around. Are you still there?
Yes, still here.
Aries would like to know Aries or Tunlink, depending upon the day.
Aries or Tunloink? Oh, that's the question. Aries or
Yes.
Tunloink?
Yes, he's essentially calling you out.
Um. Well, see, I think that's an unfair question to say. I think depending on the day, because Aries knows there are times when he goes off, he goes off. If Aries played consistently at his best, I think he would be champ 3, grand champ in no time. And we've had this conversation before. Like Aries is one of the best players I've ever played with when he's consistently popping off. But that's one of the keys, consistency. So I think eventually Aries is going to be. I would not be surprised if we see him. He's a very young kid. He has plenty of time, and if he keeps putting effort into this game, eventually he's going to be way too consistent for this league. And that's going to be a sight to see.
Okay. And thank you again, Junior. I do appreciate it. I started playing against the guys in the scrim, and I completely missed Aries' question there. He was very disappointed in me. But, yeah, definitely do appreciate the time and your willingness to answer some of these crazy questions.
Anytime. Okay. Thank you for having me.
Very welcome. Well, we are going to finish off this matchup here. I'm going to see if I can focus just a tiny bit more. If, of course, you have any other questions, feel free to ask Junior directly. But yes, Tunlink needs to carry me, is all I gotta say to this. Tunlink, carry me, senpai. The Weeaboo unite. And I stole his boost, too. Aye. Nope. Feels bad. Feels side flip. But Tunlunk is going to carry me. That's a good thing. Tunlunk in the chat just because you said Chen Senpai. Yes. Carry me, Senpai! Oh my. Not sure what I was doing there. Calculated indeed. Mercy. There we go. What do you know? Tunlink, go ahead and ask your question. Oh my. There's a lot of Ichigos out there. I'm assuming that you're referring to a waifu Ichigo. I'm just guessing, and not the Bleach Ichigo, which would be the first one to come to mind for just about any anime freak. If I'm wrong, feel free to correct me. And yeah, watch me fail. I have not. Let's see. No, I have not. I have not seen Darling in the Franxx. Although it has piqued my curiosity. I apologize. I do know that you, if I remember correctly, your current Discord picture is of a character from that. Let's see. I'll help you. Let's see. Oh, it's fat. Crap. Well, I let that in. It started a waifu war. I do apologize. Yeah, I am not up to date on waifus at the moment, so I do apologize for that. Right now, Tunloink is my waifu, to be honest. This carry, look at this. 3 goals, 2 saves. Well, I mean, I am a sinner. By all means. So, we are going to go to a quick break, everybody. And I'm going to bring in my next guest, Ninja Rider Brava. Thank you for the follow. We will be right back, ladies and gentlemen. Donut, go away. Do not go away. Okay, we are back. I do apologize for the delay there. Took a little bit longer than I would have liked in between. We're going to go ahead and work on getting the... We're going to go ahead... Nope, not that. Not that. We're not doing that. We're going to go ahead and work on getting the private match back up again. Same old information, everybody. So feel free to join. Bring your friends. Random people. MLD. We invite anyone to our lobby. Oh, yeah. Amazing interview. First interview with Junior. Captain of the Pirates. Definitely was looking forward to that one. And it lived up to the hype. One of my favorite people in the community. By all means. Definitely a really cool guy. And puts a lot into the team that he's on. He has literally, he does have a similar mindset to me in that a lot of his team is essentially a family. He goes out of his way, and one of the things I do find interesting, he didn't elaborate on too much, but Bondo did. The fact that that team went out of its way to actually provide a computer for Ares when he needed it, that was completely amazing. But my goodness. Yeah, DK, go ahead and jump in as soon as you possibly can. Definitely looking forward, though, to my next interview. Why, you ask? Because my next interview is the one and only, the legendary man himself. He goes by many alias. The skateboarding ninja. Tony Hawk. Casting superstar. I know him as a personal friend and a former Duck, as well as Lightning co-team member and a casting team member as well with myself. Someone who's been a mentor to me. Ninja Rider, how are you doing tonight, sir?
Are you sure you're talking about me?
No, I'm not sure. I kind of hyped you up really, really hard.
What the hell are you talking about?
I tried my best, sir, to convey you.
No, don't sir me. Don't sir me, son.
I tried to convey you in the best possible way, and I apparently did not do a very good job.
No, you did a fine job. Sir. You did a fine job.
But don't sir me.
Oh. Sorry, Dad.
Sorry, Dad. But how are you doing tonight, man?
I'm doing all right. It's been a frickin' Monday.
I know
all you kids don't know anything about Mondays.
Oh, well.
And get off my lawn.
Get off our lawn. We have a collective lawn that we try to take care of together. It's a very large lawn.
We have large lawns.
We're gonna build a wall all around our lawn.
Right.
And
it will not be white picket.
No, not white picket at all. It's gonna be brick. Very large, very brick. There's going to be no holes around this fence.
Steel. That's right. Anyway, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm doing pretty good.
You know what? I came on your stream specifically to suck at Rocket League, and I think I did a good job.
Well, I mean, it was definitely interesting. By all means, if you'd like, we could actually do casual 2s at some point. Especially if nobody else gets in the lobby. Feel free to get in the lobby if you'd like to, especially if your name's Cracerlink. Playing Rocket League, Kappa. MLD. And the password is Ken. By all means, feel free to get in. We're definitely looking for people to jump in. That way, who knows, maybe we can do 2s while on stream. But hey, the usual. That's about how everything's going. I did notice that you were all about downing my Prius owning. Do you have anything you'd like to add to that?
The only thing that I'd like to add to that is the fact that the Prius absolutely beamed in their design.
Yes. By no means.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing. Okay, look, the Porsche hybrid.
Yes.
That thing's a beast. The McLaren hybrid, a beast. Those things are beasts. The Prius could have been a beast.
Yes.
And a fuel saver at the same time. But no. We can't have that. We can't have a thing that accelerates faster than the speed of I don't know anything, while still saving fuel. I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get it.
I
It
mean,
completely confuses me.
yeah, the Prius by far one of the electric engines by far let you have a extremely fast acceleration, but by no means is the Prius a fast vehicle.
No, it's not. It was never designed to be. But that 0 to 60 time could have came down to like 3 seconds easily with a different programming.
Yes.
But no, Toyota had to go and ruin it. They couldn't make it cool like the version that races in the GT300 class in Japan. Heller, are we having car talk? What is this? MLD
Yes,
Monday?
apparently this is Car Talk Monday. Wait a second. There's a Prius racing automobile?
Yes.
You have got to be kidding me.
Yeah, they rip out the electric parts and throw in a big old Toyota V8.
Is it really a Prius at that point, though?
Yeah, it's shaped like a Prius.
It's shaped like a Prius.
It's somewhat a Prius.
Now, where is this? Prius Racing.
It's Japan Super GT. It's fantastic. And yeah, Google it, YouTube it. That's awesome racing. If you've never seen it before, you need to sit down, watch a race. You'll be hooked.
You've got to be kidding me.
No, oh hell
They
no.
literally put a Prius.
Yes.
You've got to be kidding me.
No. It's Toyota's official vehicle. It's fantastic. It's great.
All of a sudden, Priuses are cool.
Yeah, well, that's the only one.
Yes, that is the only one. Every other Prius looks like a box car. You literally get in it and you roll it down the road.
Kendo, is your Prius powder blue?
No, it is not.
Oh,
it is.
God. Oh.
It is not a bad puppeteering joke waiting to happen.
God, yes, I did not have to use that.
I have not done ham.
.com.
Yes, exactly. You know exactly what I'm talking
Okay,
about.
that's out of our system. Anyways.
That's copyrighted, and now I'm gonna have to deal with that. But anyway.
We split it up. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
Oh man.
How about this MLD thing though?
I know exactly, and that's one of the reasons why I really wanted to bring you in, because we can talk about the MLD a whole lot better than most people can talk about MLD.
Well, you can, because you follow it extremely closely. I have to. I follow a whole lot of things between CCA, between, trying to keep up with RLCS and everything else. MLD doesn't necessarily come second or anything, but it is tougher to follow for me. Whereas, you have the show and you have to do things and research. And you actually talk to people, whereas I just, revert back into my ninja cave. I mean, my service writer's cave. I mean, my shop. What?
Yes.
That thing.
Yes.
Yes.
That thing. That thing at the place.
So, Kendo, I wanted to ask you before you asked me.
Ooh.
Who takes the whole thing?
Oh wow. So we're just going straight into that.
No. We don't screw around here.
Oh
You
man.
know me. I don't screw around.
Well, I want to take a step back and look at what we do have.
Yes.
We do have, as far as the team records that are up there, we have the number 2 team in the Pirates, 46 and 24. Yeah. The number 3 team in the Hurricanes, 45 and 25. The number 4 team in the Spartans, and 42 and 28. And then we have the Aviators, which are 38 and 32.
Right. And wild card.
Yes. So essentially, you could say that the playoffs have gone exactly as you would expect, with the exception of what the Aviators did to the Ducks.
Definitely. And I'll tell you why. And I mentioned this on stream. It's all Puff's fault. Because Puff the Dargon does not like to lose. That man will not lose.
Interesting.
I've played with him. He's actually coached me in twos to try to improve my gameplay so that casting gets a little better. It completely failed, but whatever.
So could you say he
failed
lost it? Oh, you failed him.
No, I failed.
I was gonna
Puff,
say.
yeah. No, he doesn't play with me anymore. Of course, he's also been on vacation and has had a ton of work. So the fact that he's been able to keep afloat this season in MLD is actually quite surprising because his real life stuff has really gotten in the way of things. His teammates could probably attest to that a little bit more than we can. But let's face it. I mean, Killer Pain and Golden Shine completely surprised everyone.
Yes.
And it's a great thing. Ducks. Let's face it. Someone had to take them down.
Yeah, and I definitely a solid team did. By all means, as far as individual statistics and individual players go, that was probably the team that was most dangerous to the Ducks going into the playoffs. You looked at that second round match just out of the wild card, and you thought to yourself, okay, this might be trouble for the Ducks, and it was exactly that. The Ducks came out, really, in my opinion, extremely flat. They could not possess the ball for more than 5 seconds and shipped possession just continually throughout that entire matchup. And yeah, needless to say, I know I was just a tiny bit tilted. I can't imagine what it was like to be a Duck playing in that series. But yeah,
hang on. I think my brother started his boat.
Yeah?
That's what that was in the background, in case anybody had heard that.
Oh. A boat.
I think that was his boat. Yeah, that was his boat. Ah, sweet.
Anyway. Sweet. Anyway, it just became a boat stream. It was a car stream, now it's a boat stream.
Well, I should probably, because it happened in the background, my brother is an aspiring boat racer.
Interesting.
That was his race boat.
Really? So, like, I know they put some interesting fuels in professional boat racing.
Yeah, he's not a pro.
Okay, bye.
No, he runs it on pump gas. Anyways, yeah, another time.
Are you sure? This is a conversation for another time. I kind of want to. I kind of want to go down this rabbit hole.
Do you know? Okay, so as you know, massive gearhead, I am.
Yes.
With the whole Prius race car. Who knew that? What the hell?
Yeah, exactly.
Why would anybody care about that? Oh my god.
Well, I did. I had no idea there was a Prius race car, so you've made me feel better about myself.
Yeah. See, there you go.
I'll keep a picture of that thing in my wallet and show it to anybody who questions my manliness now.
Hey, you carry your family around in that thing.
I do. I carry my family around in my wallet as well as on my phone.
Yep, I wasn't talking about your wallet. I was talking about your fucking Prius.
Oh, well.
Oh, wait. Let's be family friendly. My bad.
Yeah. Whoa. Toxic.
But no, you carry your family in that. And you know what? That's manly.
Yes.
Yeah, as long as you don't drive it by yourself.
Yes. Anyway, back to the subject that at hand. We have the Pirates, who are going to be going up against the Hurricanes, and the Spartans, who are going to be going up against the Aviators. And let me tell you, right off the bat, pray for J as the color scheme. Spartans, Aviators, that's going to be a rough one.
Oh, there's going to be alts. You know it.
Yeah, both alts, though?
I mean, maybe, if they have to.
Because, I mean, that's definitely a couple of very rough color schemes.
Yeah, the caster's gonna have a real hard job for that one, because whoever it is, if it's me and you, or if it's Curtis and Jay, or whatever combination thereof, it's gonna be kind of tough, because we're gonna have to definitely get involved in the casting. Like, we can't. There's gonna be no BS. It's super serious cast. This one is trying to figure out who's gonna go take it for the marbles. So, it's tough for me to predict who's going to take the Aviators versus Spartans. I like the Aviators because they're like the golden child. They're
Mhm.
you know, they're the story. Let's
Yes.
face it, drink. But the Spartans with Stump, and I've seen Puff and Stump play together before.
Oh, you mean wait a minute.
Stumpinator.
What? Puff and Stump play together? Are you talking about True Soldier or what?
No, Stumpinator.
Yeah, Stumpinator.
It's on the Spartans, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Stumpinator's on the Spartans, but Puff is
so
on the
they-
Aviators.
Right, so they've played against each other before.
Yes.
You know, in casual things and
Yes.
various other places. Let's just say Stump brings out the Dargan in Puff.
Yes.
And it's really going to come down to who tilts first, I think.
I do agree with that. Although the fun thing for the Aviators is they can play just about any lineup that they want there between Puff the Dargan, Killer Penguin, and Golden Shine.
Yeah.
Whereas you know that the Spartans are going to be coming forward with True Soldier and Stump. So there's a little bit of added strategy between those two teams that may play going forward, but I really think what's going to happen is the Aviators are probably going to go with the same exact lineup that they did against the Ducks, and they're going to try to out-talent the Spartans. And up against True and Stump, I think that's going to be an extremely hard task.
No, it will be, especially with True Soldier's experience.
Mm-hmm.
Sarp veteran.
Yes.
The man has literally played this game for 10 years.
Yes. And
So it really comes down to if True Soldier can keep his mechanics about him, his wits about him, and Stump actually decides to play along with it.
Mm-hmm.
They need to play as a team, a cohesive unit, then the Spartans will take it.
Well, yeah.
No joke. Spartans will take it.
Yeah, I do agree. The weaknesses of both teams, I do kind of want to go over them, like what I feel is the weakness for the Aviators. They have a tendency to commit hard on balls, and they don't get back in time. So, like, you see a lot of opportunities for the Aviators, you see a lot of opportunities for the Aviators where they might miss a ball or they might have a close shot, and then a quick counterattack comes out, a boomer all the way downfield, and they give up an extremely easy goal that they shouldn't have. And that's one of their greatest weaknesses. They still haven't fixed that, and really that's the only reason that the Ducks were even remotely close in that matchup.
But the Ducks had the same problem. So,
yes.
The Ducks have always had the same problem.
Yes. By all means.
Even when I was on the Ducks, it's like a team thing. You commit hard, you're going to make that goal, and it's complete, faith that you're going to do it, and then you don't.
Yeah.
Or you miss, or whatever. But I mean, the same thing for the Aviators. If they like to counterattack, and they counterattacked hard, the better question is, can Stump or True Soldier recover in time? Will they hang back a little bit farther than they're used to? And will that make them uncomfortable? I mean, it's going to come down to who can save the most shots.
Yes.
It's going to come down to saves. It's all...
Well, yeah.
Deep.
I definitely think it's going to come down especially to Stump in particular for the Spartans, because True, I mean, there's a lot of experience there. The man seems unshakable most of the time, at least by my account. I haven't seen him really come off of the hinged or come unhinged ever in MLD. No. Whereas Stump, he's someone that I played with. He knows how to counter that style. Here's the thing, though. There are times where he just plays and he forgets essentially to keep to the game plan. And I don't say that by any means. There's a small inconsistency there. And I don't say that as a knock to him by any stretch of the imagination.
No, because that could be used as an advantage
Mhm.
You know, that small inconsistency, that little thing that he's got. He's got this game sense
Mhm.
that is intuitive,
Yeah.
and you can't really explain it otherwise. And when he sees an opening, he just launches for it. So the Aviators are going to have to watch out for that. The thing is, they can watch out for it, and they did against the Ducks, because the Ducks also played that sort of style, especially with Little Giant. When Little Giant sees an opening, he goes for it.
Yes.
And so you can kind of fake that a little bit. The Aviators did that quite a bit.
Yeah.
In the series that we saw this past Saturday.
Hmm.
So, I mean, it'll be quite a match. It might go down in some history.
Yeah.
I think.
I
MLD lore, if you will.
I do think there's going to be at least 2 to 3 overtimes
Yes.
in this matchup. I think the games are going to be extremely close. They're going to be well thought out. But I think what's going to happen is you're going to have a surprise, and one of these teams is going to win in 6 rather than the 7 that we are really expecting. I think one of the teams is going to get an extremely good momentum push, and it's going to kill the other team. And I feel like the team that's most likely to do that is the Spartans.
Yep, I call the 6.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually call True Soldier coming through harder than we think.
But yeah, so
I think he wants to prove himself a little bit too. True Soldier does, because of all the experience he's had, and yeah, you know, he's an adult. He doesn't have the time to put in the pros do. So that left him a little bit in the dust, even in RLCS Season 1.
Mm-hmm.
So he's got a bone to pick. He's got a bone to pick with the whole community. He wants to prove that he belongs a little bit, and this is his time. It's time to do that, but he's got to do it up against, you know, some very strong individuals.
On the orange side, we have the Pirates and the Hurricanes, and it's a battle of absolute juggernauts there.
Yeah.
Like AutoCAD versus Tunloink in a 1v1 situation, that is extremely tough to call.
Especially with AutoCAD, you know, he's coming from Nexus Gaming, where they did a lot of 1v1 tournaments, and he was in all those Twitch chats.
Mm-hmm.
He knows tricks.
Yes.
And I'll guarantee he knows how to do a few of them too.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's going to be that'll be a rotation game.
Mm-hmm. That's the thing. Like you look at the experience of Junior versus, say for instance, Ace Pocket or Cinderblock. I think that's a slight advantage to the Pirates. But at the same time, I also know both of these teams have a tendency to be just slightly inconsistent in their second player.
Mm-hmm.
So for Junior, it's more of a lack of... I think it's a lack of... He has so much stuff going on in real life that there are times where it's easy to fall off. You know what I mean? That's one of the reasons why I'm not playing competitively right now. Because I have so much going on. I'd rather not... I don't feel like I can play at the highest level possible, and that's just me being extremely competitive. But
Same. I mean, same. Let's face it. That was the whole reason why I left the Lightning.
Yeah.
You know, there was RLCS to cast, and let's face it, that's my ultimate goal, is RLCS.
Yeah.
And not necessarily being an awesome player, although that it would be nice.
Yeah.
Shit hit the fan, and I had to do research. And granted, Junior staying in is awesome, and I really hope that we get to see more of him.
I think we will, for sure.
But you know, you got to think about your life a little bit, and that's what Junior's doing. But I mean, let's face it, this Pirates Canes,
it's
toss up.
Yeah,
toss-up.
I literally think it's a 7-game toss-up, Ninja.
It could either be a full blowout, or it goes all 7 games with 4 overtimes.
Yes. I mean, there's so many variables between the two, it's too close to call. It also depends upon who comes out the hottest as well. AutoCAD lately has been an indestructible force to be reckoned with. Like, I literally, I quoted how many goals he had in the MLD four-mans recently. 21 goals he put up in a four-man session.
Yeah.
21
Does
goals
not surprise me.
in 6 matches.
Doesn't surprise me one bit.
That might be the most disgusting thing I have heard in a very long time. But wow.
Except for your Prius driving.
Hey-oh, hey-oh.
Hey!
Oh. Oh my goodness. Top 10 anime betrayal right there.
Wow. He says.
Yes.
But I mean, do we know who's going to play for the Canes and the Pirates?
I don't know for sure who it will be for the Canes. I imagine it's going to be AutoCAD and Ace Pocket, but that's also depending upon schedule. For sure, it's going to be Tun Lincoln Jr. to my knowledge. But
Okay.
I would have to double check because I know they were already scheduling out everything for Sunday, which is actually kind of cool when you think about it. But yeah, they're on top of it. All 4 teams left over are very much ready. AutoCAD, of course, is in the chat. He might be able to make light of what the matchup might end up being.
He's not going to tell us.
I know, right?
that means we'll know where to point our research.
I know. But I really do think that it's going to come out, and I'm actually going to give it to, I think, the biggest factor in the game, and I'm going to give it to AutoCAD. If AutoCAD comes out hot and is continuing the streak that he's had, like in four-mans and everything else, kind of like what they did against the Dodgers, I don't know if even the Pirates can stop this Hurricanes team. It's a storm that may be unstoppable. So I'm going to give the edge to the Hurricanes, and I'm going to call it in 7, but it could be in any game amount, to be honest. Do you have an opinion on that, Ninja?
I mean, I have to agree. I can't think of an argument, honestly.
I love the fact that you're just agreeing with me. Why don't you be an antagonist?
I'm not necessarily just agreeing with you. It's just that there really isn't an argument against it, though. Not to knock the Pirates at all, because like I said, it all depends on how much practice the Pirates are able to get in this week. It's not going to take a miracle for them to win, and it's definitely not going to take a miracle for the teams to lose. You know what? Calling it Canes in 6.
Okay, we got a Canes in 6. Interesting. So we both agree we feel like the Hurricanes do have a little bit of an edge. So Spartans, Hurricanes. I think we should go a step further and see if we can call that too. If we get a Spartans, Hurricanes, who do you have?
Get a Spartans and Hurricanes. Spartans.
Spartans?
Yes.
And what's the logic?
Their team plays.
Team plays. Okay.
The Canes have the one's advantages. And the Spartans can shut those down fairly easily. Fairly. Not always, but fairly. And shutting down those advantages is usually pretty easy if you're just pressuring the ball in general. So, the Canes, God, it's very close. I mean, we're talking in 7 games. It's gonna take 7 games this time around.
Yeah,
it won't be a stomp out like it was for the Platte League.
I actually have to go. I think the Hurricanes. Because I really think AutoCAD's on a hot streak right now. And that might change between this week and next week. by all stretches of the imagination. But if I had to call it right now, the way too early prediction, I feel like the Canes are the strongest team in the 4 that are left. And I think the only team that I think if we were talking about Aviators Hurricanes, I think the Aviators actually would be able to put a stop to what the Hurricanes do on a regular basis. But we both think that Spartans actually are going to edge out the Aviators. So it's one of those catch-22s because there are certain teams that you think might have an advantage over another team analytically, but at the same time you also think that the teams that they're playing are like, okay, this is chances are, yeah, and really that's that's the parody of the Champions League. Whereas the past few seasons with the Ducks on their roll, it's been such a huge disparity between teams 1 and 2. And I don't say that to offend the Flames or the Bulls by any stretch of the imagination. There was a disparity between the two teams, mainly due to the fact that there was a large amount of practice difference and a large amount of time spent on film study, different things of that nature.
Yeah,
but yeah, exactly. When you got multiple kids.
Yeah, that's the kicker though when it comes to MLD is, it was never designed to be for pros and for people who can play full time. The thing is with the Champs League, you're running into people who play a whole lot. Ones, twos, threes, it doesn't matter what they play. They're playing a ton. Mostly just to get to champ in general. It takes a ton of playtime. I mean, let's face it. I'm looking at my Rocket League stats right now, or my Steam, right?
Yeah.
1,349 hours.
Oof.
In almost 2 years.
Yeah.
Okay. So I roughly equate that to about half for actual playtime versus casting time. About half. Right now it's a lot higher. Casting is a lot higher than playtime. But even then, at 700 hours, I'm sitting at Diamond 3 and 3s.
Wow, you got all the way to Diamond 3?
I solo queued into that.
Wow.
Season. Right, in 3s. 2s? Yeah, Gold 3.
I'm not sure if you failed Puff that bad, because I remember getting you into Diamond.
Right, in 3s, right? Yeah, and then so come placement time, I held my own and actually did pretty good.
Yeah,
I was a little bit on a hot streak, so I was like, maybe I'll play placements, and so I did, and ended up in Diamond 3. I'm like a game or 2 away from Platinum. So that's the thing, though. Your mechanics have to be so good to hit champ in 2s. And to play at the level that we've seen, especially lately in the Champ League, your mechanics have to be absolutely spot on. That's where True Soldier goes away a little bit. Because his mechanics aren't there. His game sense is there.
Yes.
Stump makes up for that when it's time to and when he can, but let's face it, if whoever faces the Spartans in the finals, whether it be the Canes or the Pirates, they're going to have to shut down Stump.
Absolutely.
Completely take him out. Which will force True Soldier to jump in there and get involved much more than he probably either wanted to or thought he needed to. Which there in and of itself, we don't know. That's a big wild card because True Soldier is one of those guys who could pop off. And when he pops off, he's unstoppable.
Oh, yeah.
He's so good when he pops off, when he's on it. So it comes down to what MLD is all about. How much work are you putting in?
Yeah.
The perfect example is you and I in the Lightning. We practiced like every day.
Yep.
Every single day.
We did
barring weekends and barring family things coming up and whatnot. Yeah, pretty much every day that we could, we practiced, and we nearly took that whole thing.
Yeah. Very much so.
So, the Pirates have definitely been putting in the work. We don't really know much about the Canes as far as their work ethic and how much they've put in, but you can assume it's going to be a ton because AutoCAD. The Aviators, evidence galore on Saturday from how much work they've put in after beating the Ducks. Let's face it, everybody thought the Ducks was going to just go. Yeah, this is a tough one to predict. You have to admit.
Yeah.
It's a tough one. It's going to be fun to watch.
So, I do know you're going with the Spartans though. You think the Spartans? Final answer. If you had to take a way too early pick,
I'm going with my heart and going with the Spartans.
Okay.
If I were to go with my mind, I would say the Aviators in 7, 4 overtimes, and like 1 goal differential every single game.
That's that is cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs right there.
Well, someone's got to get these people hyped.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's
The
supposed to be me.
The Cocoa Puffs.
Someone's got to bring the milk.
Somebody's got to bring the milk for this cereal. But anyway.
And guess what? He doesn't bring milk in a Prius. He brings it on a Ninja.
Yeah. Aether, I'll have you know that I committed pretty darn hard on this one. I am going Spartans and Hurricanes, and then I'm going Hurricanes. So, yeah. That is my way too early prediction, and I'll stick with it. So we'll see how bad it ends up. I'm purely basing that on the fact that AutoCAD is the hottest man in the MLD right now, in more ways than one.
Wow.
Looking at you, AutoCAD. But anyway. So let's just have a little bit more of a casual conversation. I know we've been talking lot.
Serious show. What are we doing here? Come on, serious.
Feel free, of course, if you would like to ask a question of Ninja or I, maybe about our picks, whatever you'd like to do, feel free to ask us absolutely anything. But Ninja, we have been involved in the MLD for quite some time now, and it's been hardcore. But I do have to ask, where would you rank the MLD as far as your favorite orgs to cast?
Trick question. Because here's the thing with the MLD. As a caster, you get stats, you get great production, you get a lot of people who know what they're doing and have practiced it and have refined it. You get all three of those things, which is hard to find in orgs. As far as my favorite place to cast at, though, I have to admit, is probably the CCA.
Interesting.
The only reason why is because I thoroughly enjoy casting 3s. I like casting 2s because it allows for room as a caster to play around with things, and you and I have done this a few times where, different casting styles and stuff like that, and play with it, and it requires the caster to know more about the game. So technically 2s is more challenging to cast, but 3s is more fun to cast.
Mm-hmm.
And the CCA is quickly becoming top-notch when it comes to production and when it comes to the way they track their stats and the way all that stuff. And I think because I've seen the CCA grow from 8 teams, 8 different schools, to now 120 in their first year.
Yeah.
And helping them jumpstart that.
Yeah.
I think I have a little bit more of a connection there. That said, I love you, Jay. He's gonna give me shit now.
Yeah, he's gonna give you some heavy crap for that. 100%.
Yeah. But here's the thing about the MLD though, and Jay will attest to this. It is a grind to cast. It was a grind as a player, but you were playing and you were kind of having fun with it. You know, as a caster, no. They want to have a certain professionalism as a caster. They want you to bring in the analysis. They want you to excel at everything that you do. And there's a reason why there's only a certain amount of casters there, and that Jay only allows certain casters there. Not because we're friends, because we're good.
With the exception of Kendo. No.
No, I'm including you in this. Hello.
I know.
So
I had to diss myself while I had the chance.
Of course, definitely. You're such an asshole to yourself. I don't know why you do this. Family-friendly stream. Hello.
Yeah, family-friendly. Family-friendly.
Family-friendly. Yeah. Lawns and such.
Oh no.
I mean, the MLD wants to bring the highest production value that they can. That includes casters in their levels of bringing it, you know, and they want to showcase these players who are focused on improving, and I love that. But it is a grind to do 14 weeks straight, 4 days a week. It was a grind last season. It's been more of a grind this season because now we're keeping track of 2 different leagues.
Yes.
At about week 8, I was tired.
Yeah.
And, you know, I was doing 2-3 days a week.
Mm-hmm.
Jay had to be there for all of them.
Yeah.
And Jay does not get enough credit for the things he does.
By no means. I 100% agree with that.
Like, not at all. The guy literally works, you know, 10-hour days. And on Saturdays. And then he goes and does this, the MLD thing.
Yep.
So, you know, granted, 5-6 stepped up. He streamed a couple of those days to give Jay a break. And he did a bang-up job. Granted, you know, he's new at it. But he had the equipment, and he made it work. He did a good job. You know, a couple of things went wrong. He didn't panic. He did the stuff. He did what he had to do, and that stream got done. Was it the best ever? No. Was it just fine? Yes, it was. So I got to give big props to Feisig for stepping up on that. I know he's not here, but if anybody saw that stream, there were little hiccups here and there, but there's going to be. Even Jay messes up sometimes.
I shouldn't laugh.
But he does, though. I mean,
he does.
He does. You know, he's deadbeat tired.
Yeah.
Just like you guys, and you guys as players. Mm-hmm. And here I am complaining that I had to cast, you know, an hour.
Yeah.
You know. Granted, I was doing other things.
Well,
you know, whatever. CCA I was doing whenever the Nexus guys would call and ask, always help them out. You know, PRL sometimes, or Rivals now, whatever.
Yeah.
Now, PUBG on Thursdays. I was doing PUBG earlier in the season. So
PUBG. That's right. I remember seeing one of those casts.
I was doing PUBG for Forzen, you know, early in the season, and granted that kind of fell down, for reasons. They had some issues, which kind of sucks because that was actually turning into something good. Doesn't help that PUBG is just terrible. At the time, was terrible.
Yeah.
For optimization.
They're getting better slowly.
Slowly, they're getting there.
The battle royales, they're not quite esports ready.
It's not about being esports ready, but when your game doesn't work.
Well, yeah, that too.
The game would not work when I was trying to set up a lobby. It flat out wouldn't work. Even Alstedo, who by the way runs Battleground Central. If you guys play PUBG, you really should join that Discord. This is good people over there. And by good people, I mean a whole ton of Rocket League people.
Yeah. People that have actually been in The MLD as well. Alstedo, really good name.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Now with doing F1, some Saturday mornings, that'll be going for pretty much the rest of the year. It's kind of tough to get in the gaming time lately. But with MLD starting to wind down, this season, with the streaming, and I want to start streaming again regularly like I used to, and get that going more. And unfortunately, casting's gonna have to slow down. It's just gonna have to.
Yeah.
I'll probably cast on my own channel, but you have a couple of things that I can do, and I did one of them.
Yeah.
Which was go over the RLRS replays.
I know, yeah. That was actually a really fun stream to watch.
That ended up being pretty cool. Now it needs some refinement, but yeah. The other thing that I want to do, Kendo, and you may not know about this because I haven't really announced it or anything. So, breaking news.
Breaking news. News.
I'm gonna go back to RLC's season 1, the very beginning, and recast all the games.
Nice.
I want to go back and do a radio style play-by-play analysis type setup where if anybody's ever listened to hockey,
yeah,
or soccer, or even basketball, right? If you listen to it on the radio, it's completely different than what you see and hear on TV. It is very descriptive, very, it's OG Rocket League play-by-play in a radio format, which I think would be really interesting, and I think it would be a lot of fun to go back and hear some of these games, especially the guys that have been around for a long time. Go back and hear this stuff again and be like, oh yeah, I remember that. That was insane. That's something that I want to do, and I'll probably do that in my free time, as much as I can, because there's 4, almost 5 seasons worth of games, including Rivals now, the Rival series. It's a lot of games. It's a lot of series.
Yeah,
a little bit of production, not much, but mostly in-game sound. I've done a couple of tests and it works well. It just needs to be done properly.
Brava in the chat, he's mentioning they thought Rocket League in a radio format would be super cool. I 100% agree.
I might post the demo I did in the Discord.
Yeah, by all means, feel free to. Throw it right in the middle of general, and don't forget, of course, we do have the Discord down below, so feel free to click the tile there. That'll get you the link straight in to the Kendo Slice Discord. Special thanks to Ascending Champions, you guys, your weekly host destination. I do appreciate you guys coming out, showing up, and much love, of course, to the Ascending Champions esports crowd.
Oh, that's where those guys were at, and they're not here?
Yeah, pretty much. Oh, Owl, thank you for the follow, and of course, DK also with the follow. Wait a minute. I just realized there's the DK and then there's a Thumbs DK in our current lobby here. I'm mildly confused. The Polchalts of my life have really confused me when it comes to people who their names similarly. But I do... Brava and Aether both have really good questions, and I wanted to move on just a little bit from that, because that was like the most thorough answer that I think I've ever gotten in the history of this broadcast.
Well, I'm waiting for. I was sort of killing time so that people can, tune into the stream and ask their questions.
Yeah, of course. I am here with Ninja Rider, and we are doing pretty much an Ask Me Anything. We talked earlier about the MLD Orange and Blue Conference Championships, and we gave our personal predictions, which was really, it was a fun time. Just to give you a small spoiler, I say Hurricanes in 6 for the actual championship. So Hurricanes are going to be facing the Spartans, and Spartans for Ninja Rider over the Hurricanes in our prediction run there. But yeah, definitely a lot of fun. If you'd like to ask questions, feel free to type them in the chat. I do have to ask, because we both played and we've both casted in the MLD, what is your top casting memory in the MLD?
God, I've casted so many games there.
I know, right?
Can we include the RLCS qualifiers they did?
Yeah, feel free.
Okay, when Biza and I had to sub in for EU, we were not supposed to do EU. But Biza was up, and I happened to be awake for mod purposes and things like that. We both had to scramble, put on our suits, get in front of the camera, get everything going and ready, and all our notes and everything, and we basically winged it for EU.
Wow.
We had to sound the most professional we've ever sounded, winging it.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, and mind you, Bison and I have casted a lot.
Yeah.
It's pretty insane, actually, how much we have casted together, and I go back and I still go back to this day and listen to that cast and be like, yeah, I need to be better than that. I have to be better than that, and it's the best I've ever sounded. As an analyst too.
Mm-hmm.
Like I wasn't my natural play-by-play. I was analyst.
Yeah.
At mind you, at 6:30 a.m. in the morning,
mm-hmm.
my time.
So let's see. What is your personal top playing memory? Just kind of to go off that question, because as I said, we've had the best of both worlds. Excuse me.
There was a time when you and I don't remember who we were playing. It was on Wasteland.
Mm-hmm. Week 4 in season 5, and
right.
I had a feeling this would be actually your answer to it. We were playing, I think it was the Warriors.
I think so too. One of the players was a good ones player. I remember that.
Yeah.
And that's where the strategy for us to come up was just attack. Whenever, what's his name? I can't remember who it was. Had the ball. One of us had to attack no matter where we were at on the field. If we had boost, it didn't matter. Someone had to touch that ball.
Yeah. The fun thing about that matchup that I do remember was the fact that we started out down 3-0 in that matchup, and we came back in game 1 to win 6-3.
Right.
Like
yeah,
we completely turned the whole entire game on its head in the last 2 minutes of the game, and then we rode that momentum to a 5-0 sweep.
And if I remember right, that was some of the best striking either of us has ever done. Either.
we were absolutely insane. And here's the thing that irks me the most. I'm by no means knocking anybody, but they ended up dropping the ball, and that week got blacked out on YouTube.
Oh.
So they forgot to transfer the VODs over to YouTube. So there is no actual eternal record of that matchup.
Damn it.
I know, right?
Dang it.
It's like that was one of my favorite personal moments.
The reason why it was one of my favorites is because that was the first time that I really felt I had to actually sit down and practice.
Yeah.
And my fiance at the time, you know, was all like, well, what about like the things we have to do and blah blah. I go, look, I'm not doing this to win MLD because I don't get anything out of winning MLD other than the fact that I won MLD. I'm doing this for the casting practice. And she looks at me like, what? I go, look, the only way that I can improve my casting is get better at the game. This is how I get better at the game.
Yeah.
And it didn't click in her head until she actually watched that.
Yeah.
The VOD, and I was showing her like, look at these little things that I'm doing. These little things that Kendo is doing.
Yeah.
And she goes, well, how do you learn that stuff? I go, by practicing. That's the only way, is simply by practicing.
That is awesome.
She goes, all right.
Yeah, right. It clicked.
It finally clicked for her.
That is awesome.
A year and a half into playing the game, and she's like, oh, I get it now.
I let's see. I know Brava asked me favorite moment in the MLD. He directed it specifically at me, so that's kind of like a top playing memory for me. Yeah. My favorite moment in the MLD, there's a lot of really good ones, but by far my favorite moment to this day, still on stream, is the Pandas versus Ducks game in Season 4, Week 8. We went into that matchup because the season prior was something that you're very familiar with, Ninja. They call it the Massacre on Neo Tokyo.
Yeah, a bit.
I apologize for mentioning it, because I know that's...
Actually, I think it's hilarious now.
But it was the Pandas against the Ducks, and Ninja was actually part of the Season 3 Ducks. He was on the field at that time. And Eris and XORPG put up the most goals in the history of the MLD in a series at that point. But we won't go into how exactly it happened. But it was a nasty, ugly, brutal game for the Ducks. So we go into this matchup knowing the history, although despite the fact that we were rookies, going up against a solid squad. It was the Guitar Legend and Great God Zeus. And you look at those guys now, you're talking about MLD legends 3 seasons later.
Right.
You know, I mean, I'm not sure if they're Hall of Fame material quite yet, but they're people that are pillars of our community, great leaders, and, you know, I know Guitar Legend, if I remember correctly, he's managing over at United Rogue as well as playing here, and Great God Zeus, of course, ranked out, if I remember correctly.
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah, Zeus is ranked out, and his season is also over, but playing for the Sharks for so long and playing so well. So many amazing tournament moments. But it was me and Atomic against them, and we had 3 straight battles. The Pandas had a rough season in Season 4. Like, they were still learning each other. They were still learning a lot, whereas the Ducks, we hold the record for most wins in a single season from Season 4 with a 43-7 record. But the first 3 matches were absolutely terrifyingly close between us. And 2 of them went to overtime. And it was a grand total of, I think, 4 goals differential in the first 3 games. We managed to... No, wait. It might have been 3 goals. I think they were all 1-goal games. I'd have to watch again for the first 3 games. But it was really ridiculously close between the two teams. Then Game 4 happened. And Game 4... It wasn't as much... Game 4 will go down in legend because I had 8 assists and a goal, and Atomic had 8 goals. So we put up 9, and we shut out the Pandas in that game, if I remember correctly. but there was this one cut that I had where I actually dribbled the pandas, and the call is what is my favorite memory. It's where Jay literally, he says, it was Achieves and Jay. Achieves, of course, being someone I really, really enjoy as a caster.
Yeah.
But Achieves was like, oh, the dirt. The dirty, dirty, filthy dirt. and Jay's like, oh, that's a 5-shower level of filth right there. Somebody get that man a hazmat cleansing unit. And it's, to this day, it's still my favorite call in the history of the MLD.
See, and the reason why the MLD brings in certain casters.
Yeah.
And those certain casters can make calls like that.
Yeah, Brava, I will work on getting a clip of that in the Discord. So feel free, make sure you click that Discord link if you're not already in. I will get a link of that in the Discord. And that specifically, I'll make sure I get a clip up before the end of the night. But it's one of my favorite calls of all time, and I feel bad because it's self-serving, and we set some records that, yeah, we set records for that week. You know,
and this was on
the assist week.
Old Neo Tokyo, right?
No, that was actually our matchup was on Octagon.
Oh, okay.
Like the matchup that we ended up having against the Pandas in season 4 was on Octagon rather than Neo Tokyo.
I got a massive bone to pick with the fact that Neo Tokyo got switched over to traditional.
Me too, by all means. I miss traditional Neo Tokyo. What is going on in my scrim right now? 10-2. Ugh. But anyway. Yeah, so that's by far my favorite moment. We ended up sweeping the Pandas 5-0 after a really close matchup, but we essentially got a season later revenge for what happened to the season 3 Ducks against the Pandas in week 8. Ironically, both games being in week 8 in their respective seasons.
And sweeps.
Yes.
So for those who don't know the massacre at Neo Tokyo, I think I can explain this a little bit. All right, so it was myself and Domini playing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and Miner was involved in the team. He didn't have a ton of time because he was a truck driver at the time. It happens. But me and him myself and Domini practiced like crazy.
Mm-hmm.
At the time, both of us were sitting at gold 3.
Yeah.
Okay. So I was brought in off the heels of somebody who ranked out.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and that was North. And North is actually a pretty good player. He's kind of slowed down on the whole Rocket League thing, but we basically went in with my casting knowledge at the time, which wasn't as extensive as it is now. And Domini's just full bore attitude of I'm going to ruin whatever squad we're playing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. We were majorly inconsistent. We were definitely gold players. Okay. But we're going up against platinums. Every single game that we played, the 3 games that we played together, were platinums. And the reason why it's called the Massacre is because the week after, both of those team members, whoever we played, I forget who we played against, actually ranked out. They full blown ranked out. Okay, they played like 2 games and then ranked out. Okay, so it was like super obvious that, you know, there was some sandbagging going on.
Yeah.
Okay, so Domini goes into the Discord and starts throwing haymakers.
Mm-hmm.
Right, and me being his teammate, and I have the utmost respect for the guy. He's a great dude. I straight up went in there and said, look, clearly we were outclassed. There is no reason why I should have came on this team in its current format. There was no reason why I should be here. I'm not a high enough level player to even out this squad. I can't carry. Domini can't carry, and he's supposed to be the captain. He's supposed to be the highest ranking player on this team, and he was, because Miner was only a gold 2 at the time. And this is, season 4, season 5, whatever season it was, gold 2. Like, they were bad. Golds were bad, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's the massacre because we got scored on. I think the other team scored something like 45 goals.
52, excuse me.
52. Is it 52? Okay, so 52 goals. We scored a grand total of 4.
52-4. Wow.
Yeah. The only reason why we scored 4 is because they made such huge mistakes, and we were barely able to get control of the ball to send it anywhere near the net.
Man, oh man.
Yeah, it was insanity. Granted, I came away from that series knowing Neo Tokyo better than probably 75% of all players in Rocket League. Okay, the real Neo Tokyo needs to be a part of the MLD because it teaches you so much about how a ball bounces and how to read it on the fly, and the fact that it's not there irks me.
Mm-hmm.
It's not my call, so it's fine, whatever.
Yeah.
But it's called the massacre because within 5 minutes after that match happened, Domini was banned.
Yeah.
He was banned because they felt that, and many people felt that he threw it. When in fact, we were in comms in our own Discord, as a lot of teams do. And Domini's just like, look, we have nothing to lose at this point. We might as well go all out and try everything. So he did. He was going for aerials that he should not have been going for. He was getting touches, but he was obviously being challenged, right? So it definitely looked like he was throwing. He wasn't. He was actually just going all out. He just said, forget it. Go in position. I'll pass to you. Okay. So we did. And we double committed like crazy. We had nothing to lose at that point. So, and myself, at that time, I was a much more reserved player. Not shy, just more reserved. And, I was like, okay, let's go. So I was flying for things, and he was flying for things, and we were just going all out, right? And it looked like we were throwing because we were getting beat so bad.
Yeah.
And when Domini got called out for that, he went off. And it was at that point that I said, no, enough. And I started going off. Like, no, hang on. Here's proof. And I proved, I posted links and details and all kinds of stuff saying, look, these guys shouldn't have even been in this league and we should not have been playing them. There was no reason, blah, blah. It was a whole thing, right? And within 2 days, I was banned.
Ouch.
And all that, I think it was Ares. I might have been playing against Ares at the time. No.
Eris. Wait, what?
I think he just saw the stream and was just like, look, man, you got beat. Or something like that. And here's why you got beat, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, look, stop.
Yeah.
And that's all I said. I didn't say anything more. I got out of that Discord, right? I actually left the Discord. Gaming Bear messaged me direct and said, look, you're banned.
Oof. But, yeah.
And it took some convincing. It took a whole season for me to actually calm down and come back and play for the Lightning.
Oof.
Because I wanted to make sure that if I come back, I was going to be at the top of my form. And when I entered into the Lightning, I think I was at just above gold 3. I was hovering right around gold 3, plat 1, right? But I was playing better than ever.
Yeah.
And then when you came in, Kendo, we clicked the way we clicked, and it just went.
Yeah.
Right? We just took off. So
you were one of the best people at that MMR. I've ever experienced.
And the reason why is this, okay? I only played with people who were so much better than me that I stopped caring and just went for things and learned how to do it, right? So that's why they say play with people who are better than you is true. Because I played with the RLC guys. I played with, a couple of pros here and there, or not so pros yet, but people who were way better than me, and I'm sitting there holding my own.
Yeah.
But I can never convert that in ranked. So that's why when people come into Discord and they come into the MLD at Gold 3 or Gold 2, I'm watching them because they're going to either skyrocket or they're flounder. It's one or the other. That's the massacre of Neo Tokyo. And the reason why nobody talks about it. Because never have I ever been so toxic, except for then when I felt like it needed to be said. And believe it or not, a lot of rules changed after that season. A lot of things changed.
Yeah.
And a lot of it changed for the better. And at the end of when all the dust settled, and I got back into the MLD and I started casting for it again, and doing all the things, I think it was Jay that actually pulled me aside and said, look, after the massacre, things changed. This league got better.
Yeah.
So in some ways, I thank you.
Yeah, absolutely.
In other ways, you're a dick.
Well, that's classic Inanimate J, Kappa.
Oh, yeah. No, it was great.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. So, yes, Massacre at Neo Tokyo. Wasn't in my notes, but we went over it extremely well. Oh, mercy. Let's see. What other questions do we have in the chat? Aether does ask, what's our favorite match? Do you have a favorite match in MLD history? I imagine this might go a little bit along the lines of what your favorite casted match was, or favorite match that you've casted, but because I know, me personally, I've watched just about every single match in the history of the MLD, and let's see, going through the archives, I would say by far my favorite still to this day is the Sharks versus Jets wild card playoff in season 5. That was absolutely nutty. Back and forth, went all 7 games. The team that people did not think would win won. That was the Sharks. The Sharks were the underdog in that series. And it was just amazing because they ended up coming from behind after going down 2-0 at the very beginning. They came from behind, went down 2-0, and then they... I'm trying to remember. Yeah, they scored 3 straight wins. The Jets came back in Game 6 and managed to score an overtime win. And then Game 7 went to overtime. And that was nutty finish. But
I'd have to go... Hawks Wizards.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
Earlier this month.
Yeah, week 10. The one where... Upper finished off that ceiling shot to tie it up, or no?
No. This would have been...
Oh, Hawks Wizards. Excuse me.
This would have been week 14. So this is Champ League.
Hawks Wizards week 14 Champ League. Okay.
Yeah, I'm going through my notes a little bit. That was insanity because that's when the Wizards. Is this week? Or is this the?
Might have been the championship game.
I think this is the championship game for Platt.
Yeah. Okay.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
I was gonna say Hawks Wizards didn't make sense there for a minute, but
usually
week 14.
Very, very good. Yeah. This would have been week 14, so it would have been. Yeah, it would have been a
championship game Platt League.
7 games went back and forth. and the Wizards pulled it out,
Yeah.
having to win 3 straight, if I remember right. Yeah, something like that. And I remember, and this is why it's one of my favorites. Uppercase 1 came into my stream after that.
Yeah.
I streamed after that, and I think I was playing MX vs ATV or something. He was down.
Yeah.
He was bummed, right?
Absolutely. I'd be too.
Yeah, I mean, he was actually like kind of getting on himself a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And my girlfriend was in the chat too, and she saw that game.
Mm-hmm.
And she goes, "What are you talking about? You're an idiot."
Okay.
Straight up, you're an idiot for feeling like you failed.
Yeah.
You took a team that was supposed to beat you in BTK and Kramer. They were supposed to beat you. Let's face it. And you took them to 7. You won 3. Come on.
Yeah.
He goes, "Yeah, but we had that. Old Man Ballin and I had that." And I was like, "You're right. You did. Did you learn something from it?"
Yep.
"Yeah, I did." "Yeah, I did." "Yeah. Okay. Well, then it's not a fail. Come back next season. Don't drop anybody and rock it."
Yeah, drop as few people as possible anyway.
Well,
Because,
yeah,
I mean,
I
upper is now in Champ League, and yeah.
Well, either way, Uppercase
yeah.
needs to come back. I think Uppercase is going to be the one to watch next season.
Yeah. I 100% agree. He's definitely going to be someone to watch in the Champ League.
If he keeps improving the way that he's improving, and keeps up that mechanical ability, but it learns when to use it, he's gonna be unstoppable. What other questions were there? I don't have chat up. I took it down.
Let's see. Cracer asked me what was my opinion of Thumbs getting 6 assists for Cracer's 6 goals. That's a very good conversion rate, my friend. That's Kendo approved. But let's see. Anybody else have any good questions for Ninja and I? I know we're getting close to wrapping up the stream. We're a little bit over what I would normally do, but I tell you what, it's not too often you get 2 MLD historians in the chat, or chatting together on the stream. Have a good night, Brava. But yeah, 52 goals. he had questioned that. 52 goals, yes, Brava. 52 flipping goals.
Yeah, it was insane. And the rules were the same back then, where you wanted to score as many goals as possible.
Yeah.
So nobody blamed them for scoring that many goals because they could.
Oof.
Yeah, it was just one of those things.
That just I fell on a ball and it destroyed somebody. Oh my Lord, have mercy. That was almost a clippable offense. Send it, clip it, ship it. Get me my balls, Guanana. Closest games that we've ever seen. I mean, that's we named 2 really good ones right there.
Yeah, closest games that we've ever seen. Hang on, I gotta whip out my notes.
Oof.
I don't know. Can you think of any others?
There
are a few.
I would say back in the day when Mateo and I were still, it was still season 4, late season 4. Mackie ended up getting in with Jay and scrimming people.
Right.
And this might have been a check to see if the Ducks are overpowered sort of thing, because we ended up scrimming, Mateo and I ended up scrimming Mackie and Jay.
Okay.
We actually got a win. Actually, we actually got 2 wins, if I remember correctly. I forget how many games exactly we played. I mean, Mackie and Jay are really, really good. They communicate really well together.
Yeah.
But Mateo and I, the fact that we actually got a couple wins, and of course this was a scrim, there wasn't on stream or anything like that, but I remember those games being ridiculously close and that being one of the most pressured situations of my life.
Flames, Demolition, wildcard playoffs this season.
Oh, yeah.
For the, that was Plat League.
Yeah.
Best of 7, went all 7 games. Nobody could predict anything.
Demolition came from all odds to win that one out. Quite possibly one of the most nutty games I've ever casted.
No, that was insane. It actually literally took up a whole page of notes. I posted that on Twitter, and I knew it was going to be a nuts cast and a nuts game. And I knew we were going to have time for all of these notes, and we got almost all of them in too.
Oof.
Yeah, that was insane.
One of these days I'll need to actually do a little list, like a top 5 list where I can actually clip the YouTube VOD of my top 5 MLD series of all time.
That'd be pretty sick.
One thing I will say, I will not put the Season 2 championship on it.
Why?
Why? Because I still, to this day, I enjoy the fact that it was what it was, and crazy, amazing things happened in it, but I still don't think it's the best series in MLD history to this day. It was cool, put us on the map, but
yeah.
Let's see. Most fun I've had playing streaming Rocket League. Definitely the week 8, season 4, that comes to mind. The entire season 4 with the Ducks was something that was very special. And it was both fun as well as one of the most amazing learning experiences I've ever had. And I ended up getting to know 2 people that I didn't know before, and they literally became like family. We developed a system together, we set records, we did things that most people thought were impossible, and, you know, it was insane to think of some of the things that we were able to do. But that's by far been extremely fun. I would say casting for me has been extremely fun. Growing and developing in casting. There are days where I literally go into a cast and I'm like, okay, I don't want to do this right now. I'm not in the mood to cast, and then I come out of it like, yeah! You know, I come out of it with the full inanimate J, oh yeah, guttural yell.
Oh yeah. Yep.
You know, it makes me extremely happy to see. And then doing stuff like this. I mean, doing stuff like what we've been doing with the MLD Monday has been absolutely encouraging, because I'm able to see people smile. I'm able to see people encouraged. I'm able to see people grow. People actually legitimately enjoy the product that we're putting out on a regular basis. So,
yeah. No, I mean, think about it. You know, the best part about the MLD, honestly, is the my mind just went blank. Shit.
Best part about the MLD is,
you're right. Beginning of the season, the draft. The draft stream.
Yes.
Is like nearly unbearable, because you're so excited. You think you're hearing from
that was
people.
a miss hit. I apologize for the laugh track right there. I did not mean to do that. That was completely accidental. I was not laughing at Ninja whatsoever. It was a mishit on the stream deck. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Throw a little Owen Wilson in there.
Wow. Ultimate Failu.
Yeah.
Epic fail.
But yeah, no, like the draft streams are insane, because it really does make you feel like you're getting into something. And as a player, you want to see that, you know. As a caster, you want to see that. You want to see the players get involved more than anything. And it's kind of cool because, you know, there's shoot-off communities that have spawned from the MLD, involving other games. There's the only thing, I only have one gripe about this community, about the MLD community in general, and I think a lot of people might agree with this, even though they don't really think about it. The amount of people that come to watch the games,
yes,
is minimal.
Yeah,
comparatively.
I wish I could pull up a clip right now of me going off when I did my first ever Kendo Slice hot take.
Right.
It was exactly on that subject. I mean,
and I don't know how many people are in the MLD Discord, but there's a lot.
Over 400.
Over 400. Okay, so you would think if people invested in the MLD, they would want to watch the teams they're going to potentially or will play up against.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know if it's the casting. I don't know if it's the, you know, the production. I don't know what it is.
It's all our fault.
People in, but I don't understand why people would not want to watch.
Yeah.
Because when I was playing, I watched every stream, every single one of them, because I wanted to know as much as I could about the teams that I was going to be playing up against, especially the team I was going to be playing against the next week.
And even then, the opportunity to support the org that you're coming to know, to like, to love, even. I mean, even the streams that I'm not able to catch, I still make sure that I leave a view. You know, at the very least, leave a view, chat at least once. You know, even if it's me literally just putting in an emote, you know, that's still a stat.
It goes a long way.
Yeah, it's still a stat that goes an extremely long way.
And do you want to see more people like Balls come in?
Yes.
Sponsor, and people like Arctic to come in and do the giveaways and sponsor us like that, sponsor MLD in ways that nobody ever thought that would happen. That's how you do it. You get in there, you get the view in, you don't even have to watch it, just leave it on with the sound turned almost all the way down.
Yeah.
Not all off. Don't mute it.
Because then you lose your
all
view.
the way down. And then you lose your view, right. So stay in there 5 minutes while you're, you know, having a wee. I don't know, getting food, whatever. If you just have it on, type in the chat, say hi, or whatever, exclamation mark lurk. I don't know, whatever, something that says, "Hey, I was here, hi," and that's it. That's all you have to do.
Having a
It
Wii.
goes a long way.
I'm sorry,
Yes.
having a Wii.
Yes, well, it's a family-friendly stream.
Okay. By all means, we'll go with it.
Would you rather I say?
No, Ninja, slow down.
I would say going number
But
one.
all means, yeah. Anyway, but yeah, no, I definitely 100% agree there. It's something that we could do a lot better, and they seem to be taking measures to make it a whole lot better. With that.
I heard about some of that.
But by all means, if you have the chance to watch.
Some of the applicants were a little bit ticked at some of the requirements that you need to get into the MLD now.
Yeah, well, I mean, considering it was such an exclusivist thing before, yeah. But yeah, Balls especially. That if it weren't for the MLD, I wouldn't even know what Balls was. And legitimately, I don't plug them because I am just plugging something. I legitimately am drinking Balls on a regular basis.
No, it's good stuff.
It is legitimate. And Arctic, Arctic, despite the fact that I haven't been able to try out any of their products yet, Bluetooth headphones are one of the most important things to me when I'm at work. It's about the only way I keep my sanity. and they are
Right.
literally on sale right now at
Well,
Arctic.ac. And 30 hours of playtime,
Yeah.
really
Can't
good,
beat that.
solid construction. I mean, most people would be like, "Oh, well, it's not HD." Well, guess what? Your computer doesn't play in HD all the time anyway, unless you know how to set it up. You're just listening to really good stereo headphones, and these are really good quality stereo headphones that last 30 hours on Bluetooth. You can't ask for any more, especially when it can last you 2 of your 16-hour shifts without recharging easy.
Right. Right. And here's the other thing with Arctic is a lot of people overlook their cooling needs when it comes to PCs. Okay. And I was one of them, right? But in my next build, I'm putting in good fans and a whole ton of them too. Because let's face it, when I'm streaming F1 and my computer actually overheats in the middle of a race, that's a bad thing.
Yeah,
That is a very bad thing.
absolutely.
So, you guys, if you guys are doing builds, seriously, look at good fans. Arctic makes good fans. I've looked at the stats. We've memed about it a little bit, Kendo, on on stream a little bit, but those were serious stats. You can look at them.
Yeah.
Trust me, those are good fans.
Yeah.
Get them.
You keep in mind that most of the stats that they are showing on Arctic.ac are in Celsius, not Fahrenheit. Yeah. When you're talking about a cooler that can keep your processing unit or your GPU 20 degrees Celsius cooler, you're literally talking about almost, I think it's over 50 degrees Fahrenheit cooler, and that is significant. That's the difference between burning yourself and cooking yourself. If you know that, that's the difference between warm water and first degree burns. I'm gonna double check really quick.
Yeah, no, that's about right.
I want to make sure 20 degrees Celsius would be 68 degrees Fahrenheit.
Oh, jeez.
That is redonkulous.
That is the difference between super rare, like walking off your plate, and medium well.
Yes. Yeah. So by all means, make sure if you are doing a new build, check them out. Exclamation point sellout, of course, in the chat. But yeah, Ninja, it has been absolutely real. Is there anything else you want to talk about, sir?
Yeah, I think we covered.
I think we covered a whole lot and more.
We got some history. We got in some predictions.
Yeah.
We got in some memery.
Yeah, I really appreciate.
And P. We got P involved.
Yes. Yeah, y'all want to be part of the P15 club? Then by all means, check out Ninja Rider. At Ninja Rider RL. I'm a terrible human being. How did I segue that into that? That's just terrible.
Fantastic. That's radio gold right there.
Yeah. If you wanna know all about the P15 club, then check out Ninja Rider at Ninja Rider RL on Twitter. And if I remember right, you are Ninja Rider RL on Twitch as well, correct?
Not anymore.
Not anymore.
Straight Ninja Rider on Twitch.
Straight Ninja Rider on Twitch, not without the straight portion. Don't type out straight, but he is the straight Ninja Rider.
Type out gay. What?
On that note, ladies and gentlemen, I really appreciate everyone coming out. I appreciate your support. Pulling up the Nightbot real quick, so I can thank the followers and the donators on the night. Let's see here.
I'm gonna have to show you a couple things that'll make your life a little easier.
I know, right? I'm terribly slow when it comes to it. But Owl Sebro, thank you for the follow. DK 1724, you're still in chat. I appreciate you, sir. Thank you for the follow as well. Of course, the host from Ascending Champions.
Yep.
That was much appreciated. Their usual Monday host. I really do appreciate you guys. Brava, Tunloink with the subscription. Ninja, I didn't realize you had just followed. I'm kind of
Yeah,
disappointed.
me too. I felt like an a-hole when I was like, I'm not following Kendo.
You snuck
What?
that in there, and I didn't notice it. So,
Yeah.
then of course Junior also with the follow, Cracer as always with the bits, my friend. Thank you very much for your continued support, and in more than one way. By all means, a voice of reason and a voice of
Uh-huh.
of
Uh-huh.
of that.
That.
Yeah. You'll hear it on the stream, Ninja. You just have to turn it on the volume.
that.
But anyway, thank you to everybody for your support and continued pushing forward. Stay tuned for the host. We're going to probably go to Mythical. They got the Primal Open number 3 going on right now, so do not go away. Good night, everybody.